How dare you? William Fuming mad yelled in Harry's face after copying and pasting his speech at UN. Prince Harry has been mocked for appearing to copy and paste Prince William's speech while speaking to the United Nations yesterday. The clip comparing the two speeches side by side appears to show some resemblances, with Prince William's 2021 Church of Scotland speech referencing similar talking points. Referencing his mother's death, William said, "And in the dark days of grief that followed, I found comfort and solace in the Scottish outdoors." In yesterday's speech, Harry also referenced his late mother Princess Diana when talking about Africa, saying, "It's where I felt closest to my mother and sought solace after she died." He goes on to talk about Meghan Markle, adding, "And where I knew I'd found a soulmate in my wife." Similarly, Prince William said in his 2021 speech, "It was here in Scotland, 20 years ago, that I first met Catherine." Needless to say, the time when you meet your future wife holds a very special place in your heart. Writing on Twitter, one user at Royal Imposters wrote alongside the clip, "Prince Harry just copied and pasted Prince William's 2021 Church of Scotland speech." Prince Harry was also accused of copying the format of the speech. It comes as Harry and Meghan faced protests outside of the speech to the United Nations in New York. UN members gathered in the General Assembly Hall on Monday to observe Nelson Mandela International Day. But protesters were pictured outside holding up signs urging the Duke and Duchess to go home. One protester held up a sign reading, "Mandela spent 27 years behind bars in SA. Markle spent 18 months in castles and complained on TV during a pandemic. Why are they here?" The Duke was also mocked for empty seats during his speech after footage emerged showing the Assembly Hall. One Twitter user, at WalkerDevon1922, sarcastically commented, "It was to a packed house." At LindaJoy54 added, "The big UN speech today was a bust for Harry. Room was almost empty." At Aware-on-5 quipped, "Harry addressing an empty UN assembly today. Folks must be on vacation, or not interested in what he had to say." At Sarah_Law added, "The room at the UN is embarrassingly empty." Prince Harry has once again launched an ill-advised intervention into US politics, this time, as part of a keynote address to the United Nations in New York to mark Nelson Mandela Day. Seemingly unaware that the US has not sought the advice of British royalty on how to conduct its internal affairs since at least the 1770s, the Duke of Sussex made some pointed remarks in his address yesterday. Most notably, his speech included a thinly veiled swipe at the US Supreme Court's recent decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Though the Duke did not mention Roe by name, he did, in a clear allusion to it, talk of the rolling back of constitutional rights here in the United States. And he warned that this was part of a global assault on democracy and freedom. The irony of a member of the royal family issuing warnings about the perilous state of democracy was not even the worst thing about his tirade. Prince Harry's speech was full to the brim with many other unwanted and ignorant insights. Take for example his contention that constitutional rights are being rolled back in the US. As Amber Rathi explains in Spectator World, Harry clearly misunderstands what the Supreme Court's Roe ruling actually involved. Whatever we may think of the court's decision and its implications, it did not roll back a constitutional right as such, it ruled that there was never a constitutional right to abortion in the first place.